Hey guys, let's talk about red flags. I'm a Libra. I feel like I'm the Libraest Libra ever because if you guys do follow me on Instagram, by the way. It's at SerenaBebe. What is this piece of hair? I'm sorry, I was like flipping my hair over my shoulder like 10 times. I feel like on Instagram I post almost daily about being a Libra. I find some kind of Libra horoscope post and I put it on my story. And if you don't know, Libras are very optimistic. We tend to see the world through rose-colored glasses. You know, if you're looking at the world through these rose-colored glasses, then the red flags, they just look like flags. I am the worst at spotting red flags in my own relationship. Not really so much that I'm bad at spotting them as much as like I'm really good in my head at like convincing myself that a red flag ain't a red flag. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean to talk to me like that. You know, he's just going through some, you know, all these excuses I make up for myself. But when it comes to my best friends, when it comes to my sisters, when it comes to anyone in my family, anyone that I genuinely care about, I can spot a red flag from like a million miles away. I can be like, that's a red flag, dump him immediately, block him, never speak to him again, change your name, move states. That's just how I am. I don't want this video to come across as if I am targeting a specific individual or a specific relationship from my own personal experience. I mean, I am, but I didn't want it to come across that way. I could not rely on my experience alone with red flags to make this video for you guys. So I texted my friends, I asked my family members, I gathered my research in order to make this video for you guys. Obviously, these are just red flags. These are just warning signs. These are just things to look further into to see if there really is a problem in the relationship. These aren't necessarily me saying like if someone does this, they're immediately a cheater. I think that if I can take some of the things that I went through, that my friends have gone through, that my family has gone through, and we can put them in a video like this, I feel like if we can stop someone else from feeling the same pain that we felt, it's worth making this video. And I think it goes without saying that some of these red flags can trickle into more serious problems and can lead to things like verbal, physical, emotional abuse. So I'm actually going to be leaving resources in the description box. If you find that you're one of those people who are looking for a solution to like a more serious problem, you'll have resources and people to reach out to who can better help you with that situation. I do want to leave a trigger warning here because I personally know that if I watch a video like this where people are talking about either red flags or like things that can lead to bigger problems, because I'll start to like talk to myself unkindly and be like, wow, all these people can spot all these red flags, why couldn't you? You know what I mean? I just want to give a trigger warning because we're not going to be talking about abuse, but some of these red flags will lead to abuse or can lead to abuse or have the potential to lead to abuse. So I'm just giving that trigger warning because I would want that trigger warning if I was watching a video like this. Okay, the very first one that I want to bring up, and this is a very interesting one, it says, they fight dirty, meaning they're not really trying to resolve the issue at hand, they're just trying to throw out insults, especially ones that they know will deeply hurt you. This is such a red flag. This is a red flag that you're in a very toxic relationship to each other. I'm trying to think of like an example. Say that you put on a shirt that was like what your boyfriend considers to be like a scandalous shirt. Like maybe it was low cut, maybe it was like you were just wearing your bra. You know, girl, wear what you want. But like that's not the point. If your boyfriend comes up to you and is like, you're not wearing that out, go change. And then you just kind of like brush it off and you're like, okay, I change. And then like later that night you say, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, it really hurt my feelings when you said I can't wear this outfit because like I feel like I should get to wear what I want. I feel like you don't control me like that. And then they, instead of like apologizing and saying like, oh, you're right, like I don't control you like that, you can wear what you want, or like just seeing the situation from your point of view or just like trying to understand where you're coming from, they just throw out that like, well, why are you being so slutty? You're in a relationship. Why are you acting like you're not in a relationship? And it's like, it has nothing to do with the argument at hand. Do you know what I mean? That's a red flag. Another red flag is feeling like you can never be yourself. And this is really important because when you meet someone and you start a relationship with someone and you're building this relationship together, you want to feel like you can be yourself around them. And if it feels like you have to hide certain parts of your personality because they're too much, or you think that they might think you're too weird, or just like any part of you that you feel like you have to hide from them, that's a red flag. This is something that I wish I would have told myself and stuck to, because it's like, yes, they might not be interested in the same things that you're interested in, but if you are so interested in them, they by default should be interested in them, even if they're not interested in them. I feel like I just said interested so many times. If you love Harry Potter and you're obsessed with Harry Potter and all they do is go, Harry Potter is stupid, the movies are too long, the books are stupid, whatever, it's like they should be interested in something that you're so interested in. That's a red flag. The next couple I kind of grouped into the same category because they all have to do with social media and posting pictures on social media. A red flag is untagging himself from photos that you posted of him, never posting pictures of the two of you, and then deleting pictures of you from his Instagram without telling you. If that ever happened to me, like a red flag would go up. I would say something to the person, because like that is like acting like you don't have a girlfriend behavior, like you don't want to have pictures of me on your Instagram or your Facebook. What I've come to realize is that like I'm very public when it comes to social media, and there's a lot of things that I don't have boundaries on. Like I have a public Instagram, I have a public Twitter. I've always made all of my social media platforms very public, and I make YouTube videos, so something that like doesn't bother me as far as like privacy goes might bother someone else, and like other people don't see social media the same way. It can be a red flag, but it also can just be maybe that person just isn't as into social media as you are, and they don't think anything of doing that, because that's happened to me in the past. Like I've said like, why did you do this? And they were just like, social media means nothing to me, like I think it's all fake, I think it's stupid, and I don't want anything to do with it. But then you break up with them and they post all the time, but it's whatever. Your red flag radar should go off, but like maybe just talk to them. This one kind of goes with something I already gave an example of, but basically they said controlling what you can wear out. First of all, I think it's 2020. Girls can wear as much as or as little of clothes as they want, and it doesn't mean that they are some type of way. It doesn't mean that they are slutty. Nothing about what you wear is reflective of who you are on the inside. And honestly, most of the time, if I'm not wearing a lot of clothes, if I'm going out with like less clothing on, it's because that day I felt really confident in myself and my body, and that's how I chose to dress. Like some days, you're feeling bloated, you're on your period, you just want to wear your oversized hoodie and your sneakers and go out to the store or wherever you're going. And like some days, you can go out with like just your bra top on, and like that's fine. I just think your partner should never be able to say that you can and cannot wear something, because it's like first of all, do you think that like what I wear is like an invitation for like other people to come and like be all up in here? No, it's not. And clothes don't mean consent, and clothes don't mean that you're asking for that kind of attention. And also along with this is telling you what you can and cannot post on Instagram. I would love to see someone try and tell me that because they're in a relationship with me, I can't post like pictures in my bikini or pictures in like a bra and underwear on Instagram. That is just so out of my realm of like understanding, because like feeling confident enough to post something on social media that shows off your body and all of its beauty shouldn't be something where your boyfriend can go back and say that it's like cheating. If you feel confident, if you feel hot, if you feel like posting a particular photo, do it. I feel like this can be a red flag. Next red flag is gaslighting. And gaslighting is so complicated because it's really hard sometimes to detect that you're being gaslit. People are so manipulative and good at doing this that they can make you apologize for things that like they did. Basically, if you don't know what gaslighting is, which I don't know why you wouldn't know, because I feel like it's kind of the new thing that everyone's like, all their psychological trauma is coming from in relationships, is this thing called gaslighting. Someone goes out and they do something wrong, whether it's being unfaithful in some type of way, cheating, any kind of problem issue you have in a relationship, and then they twist the situation and turn it around to make you feel crazy for even being upset with them for doing what they did. And it's like this whole puzzle of like, wait a minute, he went out and he went to this girl's house at like 3 in the morning and slept in her bed, but he apologized for it, and then he called me crazy, and like maybe I am crazy because maybe that's like something that people should do when they're in a relationship. Not based on a true story, by the way. The next one is they are secretive and they're always keeping things from you. And I've always said this, but hiding text messages is a red flag. If you go to them straight up and be like, hey, can I see your text messages to this person? I've heard that you've been texting this person and it makes me really uncomfortable. And they say, well, I deleted all of our messages. It's like, that's a red flag, because if there was nothing to hide, there'd be nothing to delete. I know that we all delete messages to save memory on our phone, but when you have messages from your grandma from 3 years ago telling you happy birthday every year on your birthday, and those don't get deleted, but this specific girl's messages get deleted. If you're in a relationship with a boy, I do realize that boys are not so forthcoming with their feelings like girls are. Like me, I could sit there and talk about my feelings all day long and never run out of things to say, and like honestly I do sometimes, and they're like, shut up, Serena. So if there's like a particular situation where you feel like they're being secretive or they're keeping something from you, I would just go to them and straight up ask them, because sometimes they're not really trying to keep it from you. They're just dumb and they're boys, and that's just like how they are. Another red flag is telling you that you cannot be friends with someone of the opposite sex, which I just think is ridiculous. I've had friends who are guys. I have been in situations where the only people around were guys, and I honestly make friends more easily with guys. Most of the time, they're just down to like go out, have a good time. Like girls, they have a lot of emotional needs, and I know that because I am a girl who has a lot of emotional needs. But girl friendships take time and effort to build up, so I feel like it's just sometimes easier to make friends with the guys, you know? And to have someone telling you that you cannot be friends with the guy, it just shows that they don't trust you. They don't think that, you know, it's possible for you to be friends with someone without getting feelings for them. No, they don't have to trust your guy friends, but they should trust you, that if your guy friends make an advancement towards that you would say no, and they would have enough trust in you that you would say no. And if they don't, that is a red flag. The next red flag, and this is one that I have experienced so many times, and it's dismissing your feelings, like your genuine thoughts and feelings, as just being dramatic. And I feel like I might feel the most passionate about this one, because I am a very emotional person. I cry a lot, and I think that like, I feel like I'm gonna cry now just like talking about crying. And I know that like I can be crazy sometimes. I can be that girl who's like, well, when you spoke to me at dinner, your voice was a little bit of a different tone, so like that must mean you hate me, and like why do you hate me, and like spiral. I can be that girl sometimes. I also will come to the other person and say, you know, it really hurts my feelings when you do this, this, and this. And to have that just be shot down like your feelings don't mean anything, because what really happened was I did this because I did this, and it's like they're just telling you that you're being dramatic. That one hurts. I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of the time, a lot of arguments have come from that sort of thing, and it's like we could have saved a lot of arguing, and we could have saved a lot of feeling alone and like you don't understand me if you would have just taken a moment to see things from my point of view, and maybe either apologize for your part in it or like explain your side at least. And like, I just think anytime they dismiss your feelings as not being valid, that is a red flag. Another red flag is when they're constantly negative about things that are really important to you, whether it's your job or your religion or your favorite movies or your favorite hobbies. It's like they attack things that mean a lot to you. And to me, that is like a huge red flag. It's a huge red flag that they just don't genuinely care about you. You can't even pretend to like care about the book I just read. Just always constantly talking negative about the things that you really love is really hurtful, and that's a red flag. And then the last red flag, which is the red flag that kind of made me want to make this video, and that is that they're constantly telling you that your friends and your family don't care about you. I was in a relationship where the guy actually texted some of my friends and told them to stop talking to me, that they were upsetting me, and I didn't realize, I didn't know that until after we broke up. It was like 4 or 5 months after we broke up, and like I thought everything was like good, we're all over everything, and I heard that information and I just cried. I cried and I cried, and I could cry just thinking about it, because when you're in a relationship with someone and you trust them with everything and you talk about everything. I remember crying. Shocker, I was crying, but I remember crying to this person at least once a week about how it was so weird that my friends had stopped talking to me and I felt so alone and isolated and I felt like everyone hated me. And the whole time he texted them and told them to stop talking to me. So like, that's cool. But you know, just the whole idea of like that person trying to convince you that everyone important to you is out to get you, or you know, just doesn't care about you, that's a red flag. Because normally that is the type of person who wants to control everyone around you and honestly wants to isolate you and make you feel like they're the only person that you can go to, they're the only person that you can trust, and they're the only person that's gonna be there for you, when in reality they're the person turning everyone away from you. So honestly, I feel really passionate about that one. That one is definitely a red flag. Those are like the best red flags that I could come up with that I think are very generic and can work in a lot of different relationships, a lot of different circumstances, and are things that I think are important, because I think they're like little things that can obviously trickle into bigger things, bigger manipulation, you know, even lead to things like abuse and, you know, just having a toxic relationship. We don't like that here. We don't stand for that. We do the opposite, actually. We hate that here. I wanted to help people who might find themselves in the same situations as I did, my friends, my family, the people I got to help me make this video. So if you did watch this whole video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon with another one. Bye!